Ted, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me here for this interview. How are you?
I'm good, Ruckus. How are you?
Great as well. The reason I invited you on is because I saw some nice wins from you in the freelancing campus. Could you explain what they were about?
More or less, I made my money through freelancing video editing services to various clients, right? And so with video editing, I was doing short form content to be specific. So, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, etc. And within my first month of doing it, I made about $600 from my first client. That was more or less my first win. And then within the 3 months that I've been in the freelancing campus, I have scaled that up to $3,000 a month.
Very nice. A few things I'd like to clarify. Where are you from?
I am from Kenya, Nairobi.
Very nice. And what is the average monthly wage in Kenya?
Okay, on average, it's about $400. On average, that's the average monthly salary, $400.
And you've made 3,000 in 3 months, so you're averaging 1,000 a month, which is over double.
Yeah, it's
Very
dope.
nice. Okay, how did you find out about the real world?
The real world. So I started watching Andrew Tate back in 2022. And I just hear him talk about the real world and the fact that you need to escape the matrix. Also, at the time, I really, really did not want to go to uni. I really didn't want to get into a 9 to 5. Unfortunately, however, before I started getting my wins, I was already in university. So I'm now in the process of dropping out. But um, I started working really, really. I saw Andrew Tate's TikToks talking about the real world and how like you should join. So I took a risk. I gambled $49, which was all the money that I had. I spent the last $49 that I had, joined the real world, and more or less that motivated me to work. So I was in the real world day in, day out, constantly watching Dylan Madden's videos on, testimonials, how to send outreach DMs. I was constantly, engaging with the people in the chats and all that. So yeah, more or less within the 30 days, I got my first win. And yeah, it honestly changed my life because $600 to me, that was life-changing money. That was money that I never, could see myself making. Because that's more or less almost double what the average salary was. And me making that off of my phone and off of my laptop at the age of 20 in a third world country, that was just life changing, to be honest.
It's beautiful. I love to hear stories like that. How many hours
Yeah.
were you putting in per day when you first joined?
Per day, I was more or less the real world was everything I consumed. It was like about 10 hours. Like I spent all the time that I had just learning about money and all that. So I gave up looking at Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and all I did was I focused on the real world. All I did was just pay attention to what was going on in the real world, what the professors were saying, the announcements, just everything. I did everything I could to quickly absorb the information, put that information into practice, and just move with speed. And so, yeah, I spent on average 10 hours every single day in the real world.
Mhm. And how different would you say the material is in the real world compared to what's out there on the internet?
Okay, so with the real world, you're being taught by actual millionaires. Like there's actually credibility in what these people are saying. Number one. Number two, these people do not really lie to you. They're actually legit. You can actually tell that these people have a best interest at heart. Because you look at someone like Dylan Madden, this guy takes time out of his day to sit down and actually, his money bag talks, busy telling you guys, literally laying it down in real time, step by step, how to make money. As in, with the real world, it's got into a stage whereby it's impossible for you to not make money because literally, yeah, Hustlers University was really good, but with the real world, they literally take the information they dish out there. They literally took the information in Hustlers University and they spoon feed it to you. It is literally so easy to make money with the real world because they make it extremely simple. And plus, the real world, they don't focus on money alone. They focus on all aspects of life. So you look at Arnold. Arnold talks about life skills, masculinity, and also even making money in the real world. You go to Andrew Bass, you look at his talks, his power up morning calls, and all that. And then you live and listen to Luke's lectures. on how to manage your time, how to be a professional, and all that. And that's just something they push out in general. There's even a calisthenics course. So more or less for $49, you're more or less getting everything to do with the masculine imperative, which is fantastic on Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate's parts. And also shout out to all the professors, man. They really, really change lives and they actually care about the people. So yeah.
Mhm. Really love your answer, Ted. Why do you think they only charge $50 for or $49 for all the value they provide?
I think so that everybody can join, everybody so that everybody at least has a winning chance, which is very selfless. I don't know if selfless is the right word, which is
Yeah.
very kind on Tate's part to just make it affordable for literally anyone to join. So all you have to do is just give up a Netflix subscription and that will literally change your life. So yeah, they make it really affordable for anyone to join and just to give an opportunity to hardworking individuals to actually make it out of the matrix. So I think that's why they charge $50. For the value, I think it's an underpriced asset,
Mhm.
if I'm being honest.
Completely agree. Did you try any other campuses when you first joined, or did you go straight into freelancing?
Okay, so I got into the copywriting campus. And with copywriting, Andrew Bass is a fantastic teacher. He's a fantastic professor. I learned off of copywriting, especially with reaching out, made me bug my first clients quite quickly. For me, I think writing was just not something that I was really good at. I really struggled with it. But then I thought to myself, you know what? I actually know how to edit videos and I actually have CapCut on my phone. So let me try out video editing. I didn't think it was going to work out until I joined the freelancing campus. I listened to Dylan Madden and more or less the professors I'd actually want to give credit to these are the professors that I more or less listen to. Professor Arno, Dylan Madden, and also Andrew Bass. Those three people more or less changed how I view life and how I view money.
Hmm. Right, I agree. With Arno as well, I it took a while for me to start listening to his lessons, but when I actually started going through them, there are so many insights that yeah, you don't get anywhere else, and
Yeah.
definitely helped me improve. Now, what would you say was the biggest challenge you faced when you first started out in the freelancing campus?
The number one the challenge was focusing on one niche. Because actually not even that. I had this it's this syndrome, I don't know what they call it, where you more or less try to do multiple things and all that, right? I keep forgetting the name of the syndrome, but yeah, the shiny object syndrome. So
Yeah.
that's what I had. So I went into the mentality of, oh, you know, if I do copywriting or if I do video editing, then maybe I'm gonna make more money. But that's garbage. So more or less, I went into the freelancing campus and Dylan Marden was like, yo, you have to focus on only one skill and one skill alone. And also with niches as well. It was a struggle reaching out because I came to realize a lot of the people are frugal, like they don't want to spend that much money. And so more or less the niche that I'm in, there's some frugal content creators, but then also there are also content creators that are actually good quality leads who will happily pay you thousands of dollars a month. So those are more or less the people that I just worked really hard to reach out to. I worked really hard to deliver free value. And on the sales call I more or less copy and pasted every single thing these people told me to do. And that's how I made money. So my biggest challenge was the outreach and also focusing on a niche and focusing on a skill.
Right. Now, did the community have any kind of impact on you?
Yes, they did, because the community they hold you accountable. So every single day they see to it that you actually sent out the DMs or the emails. They see to it that every single day you got your workout in. They more or less see to it that you're actually disciplined and you actually do what you're supposed to do. They help you out, they critique your work, they give you feedback. They also, yeah, they critique your work and they just give you feedback and all that. So more or less that's how the community has helped.
Right. Have you met any people that you've maybe gotten closer to?
Closer. Well, yeah. There's Stefan, I think TB. TB, I talk to him from time to time. He's a G. From time to time I'll also talk to Nami Assad, send him a DM, say, hey, this is actually a good story that you put out. But then the person that I talk to the most is a guy called Lance. He's a Kenyan just like me. And him, yeah, and more or less Those are the people that I talk to in the real world.
Okay, fair. Did the Wins channel have any kind of impact on you?
Did the what?
The Wins channel.
Yeah, the wins channel, it did. Because with the wins channel, you look at the wins and you're like, okay, yeah, these are some pretty good wins. And yeah, you look at the wins and you're like, okay, if these people are making money, then pretty sure I can make this money. And on the days you feel like slacking, you don't feel like doing the outreach, or you don't feel like fulfilling client work, you look at the wins and you're like, okay, these people are making money. I'm not making money. Something has to be done immediately in order for me to make this money. I cannot afford to slack. I cannot afford to be lazy. And you more or less see 14-year-olds making double the amount of money you're making, and that more or less motivates you to actually work.
Right. Yeah, that quite often as well. I love it. Okay, now maybe something for you to think about. What would you say have been the three biggest lessons you've learned from your time in the real world?
Number one is that money loves speed. So more or less, you need to be proactive. This doesn't mean rush through anything. It doesn't mean just be an amateur and all that. What it simply means is, yes, you need to plan and all that, but you don't want to waste time when it comes to the execution. You want to be very fast in the execution, and you want to do it, and you want to do things efficiently. Because if you get your work done on time and you deliver it to your clients, you have more time to work on your skill. You have more time to even get sleep. That way you can deliver quality work to your clients. And more or less speed, more or less life runs on speed. If you do things, if you more or less do not waste time, you don't procrastinate, and you actually do your best to get things done efficiently, yeah, it's inevitable you're gonna succeed. The second lesson was that you need to be a professional at all times. And that just goes with everything from when you wake up to going to the gym to talking to people to dealing with clients to performing to providing results for your clients. You need to be a professional in just everything that you do. Because with professionalism, more or less, if you're not a professional, what's going to happen is that people are not going to take you seriously, and that will cost you money. Plus, all in all, people just trust people who are professionals, who know what they're doing, who know what they're talking about, and who present themselves in a way that just signifies that they're professionals, even with just how they articulate themselves. Professionals are just favored, and professionals are way richer than amateurs. And then Number three, it's the fact that you need to pick one thing that you're good at, and you really need to go ham on it. More or less burn the boats. And this is something that I picked from Andrew Bass, whereby in you may not be good at a particular skill. When you pick a skill and you figure out that you're good at it, you need to and also this applies to the niches that you pick. Pick one skill, pick one niche, stick to it until you succeed. Do not succumb to the shiny object syndrome. Do not quit just because you're not seeing any progress. Keep working hard. And then also another lesson that I learned is that intensity breeds results. So with intensity, what that means is simply if you put in more hours, you send out more DMs, you take the time to improve your skill, you take the time to listen to the professors, and you actually pay attention, then inevitably you'll just create a reality for yourself whereby you just can't fail. Plus, with intensity, you will get the results way, way, way quicker. So when you're looking at the real world wins and you hear people saying that, oh, I made my first dollar within my first month, you need to understand that these people worked really, really hard. So put in at least 10 hours, do your outreach, sacrifice more or less your Netflix, video games, just sacrifice that for the time being and just fully focus on making your first win within the real world. And yeah, those are the lessons that I learned.
Yeah, great answers. And yeah, it's not a get rich quick scheme where you don't put in any work and you get rich. You need to put in that work. And that also links to your second point about professionalism. I've seen it's quite hard these days to find a hardworking individual who's motivated, not lazy, and just professional, not sloppy in the work he does. So if you have those attributes, then you're a highly sought after worker, if I can say it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, since you're on this trajectory, earning near 3,000 within 3 months in Kenya, where the average wage is 400 a month, where do you see your life heading in 6 months to 1 year?
6 months, I see myself getting to $10,000 a month and just scaling up after 6 months, once I get to my first 10K, I want to join the crypto campus and learn more about crypto and just learn more or less about the investment market and all. That way, I just exist with multiple grades and I'm not just relying on one line of income.
Right. Very good idea. Now, on a separate note, what would you say for what kind of impact has Tate had on you?
Oh, Andrew Tate, he's taught me a lot. Andrew Tate, number one, has taught me the importance of physicality, meaning taking care of your health and all that. Number two, the importance of working really, really hard at what you do, showing up every single day, regardless of whether you feel like doing it or not. You need to show up, put in the efforts, and just put your head down and work. Avoid the distractions. Avoid just things that are not gonna make you rich. Just don't be a brokey. That's what I picked from Andrew Tate. And then the third thing that I learned from Tate is professionalism. So how you articulate yourself, how you do things in life in general needs to come from a professional standpoint. And then also number four, it's more or less viewing life from the perspective of what is the best move on the chessboard. So you more or less need to look at yourself and ask yourself, if I'm broke, if I'm not really doing well in life, like if I lack physicality and all that, if I don't have a network of like good people to talk to about money and all that, then what's the best move on the chessboard? And that is joining the real world. And yeah, that's more or less, you need to view your life from that perspective of what is the best move on the chessboard. When I'm whichever campus I'm in, what is the best move on the chessboard? Yeah, I need to improve my skill. Yes, I need to reach out. I need to get testimonials. I need to bug clients. I need to deliver results. I need to scale up and make more money, make my clients happy and all that. So just viewing your life from what's the best move on the chessboard, for me, that was my biggest take from Andrew Tate.
Right. Love it. And now for people who are maybe on the fence, just not quite sure whether to join the real world, whether not to, what advice would you give them?
Well, joining the real world, okay, $50. There are the courses out there that I don't know charge $1,000, and all the person does is he just gives you a course, and he just gives you a course, and that's it. He just leaves you to figure it out for yourself. The professors in the real world, number one, all of them are rich. All of them have physicality. You don't see any soy boys in the real world. All of them, you can literally see with your own two eyes that these guys actually living the life that they lived. These people made the money before selling you the information on how to make the money. Whereas for other courses, these people literally make their millions off of selling you guys a scam. You come to the real world, it's legit. For $50, professors literally talk to you every day. They literally they literally motivate you every single day. They take time out of their busy schedules to teach you guys how to get rich. They just do whatever it takes in the power to, ensure that you're rich, ensure that you're well as a man and all that. So yeah, you're not being taught by soy boys. You're being taught by people who actually know what they're talking about. And just even their mentality, it's just going to bleed on onto you. So with the real world, definitely for $50, it's worth it. If someone like me from a third world country, Kenya, if I can make that kind of money, then anyone in the world, for as long as you have a phone, you have a Wi-Fi network, you have a laptop, and you have Instagram, and you have the burning desire to work, I kid you not, you're going to succeed. So more or less, the real world has made it possible for anybody on earth to succeed.
Mhm. Ted, I'm very happy with this interview, and I look forward to seeing how things play out for you in the future because you're a very intelligent, hardworking man. So yeah, I really want
Thanks.
to see how you progress and then get you on for a follow-up to have it documented. Okay.
Yeah.
So for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Teddy Waidaka. So on Instagram, you can find me there.
Can you spell it out?
So underscore dot TEDDY underscore WAITHAKA underscore. So that's my Instagram account.
Okay. I will add it to the description of the video. And Ted, thank you again for your time. And I wish you all the best. And until next time.
Thank you, Ruckus.